Kris, why do you keep working if you're retired? Or is it, Kris, why do you keep working if you're retired? Or is it, Kris, why do you keep working if you're retired? I don't know. I get this comment from time to time, and so I thought, you know what, let's make a video about it. Let's tackle it. What's behind wealth? What's behind and what's the real motivator for me, and maybe even for you, in the game of creating wealth, creating financial freedom, and getting where we want to go? All right, so I hope you're okay if today's a little bit more of a casual style video, right? Because I'm just gonna share some of my personal thoughts and feelings on questions that many of you have asked. The question is, Kris, why do you keep working if you're retired? And I wanna do my best to answer that for you. First of all, I wanna back up and share that the first time I retired, my reasons for doing it weren't the most pure. And what I mean by that is, I really kind of felt frustrated that my wife was putting it on me. She said, hey, Kris, I'm gonna have babies. I'm gonna help produce children for this family. I'm gonna be working full-time as a mom, and you gotta be the breadwinner. You gotta go out there and work, right? We come from that traditional mindset a little bit. I don't know, I just felt like I was being ripped off. Like, well, what if I want to be the stay-at-home dad? Like, what if I can't find a career that I can fall in love with? The idea of being made to work and do something that I don't enjoy, it felt like death. I don't know if any of you ever felt that way, but the majority of us have jobs we don't like. Even when I was young, I was like, that is not the life that I want. My original motive was jealousy. It's like, well, one of the reasons why I want to become financially free, I don't want to be stuck holding the bag on a job that I don't want to do with the rest of my life. It's kind of selfish. And motives change with time. Mine certainly have. And this is when it really all came clear. When I was 26 years old and I had retired, what I specifically mean by retired was I quit my job, no longer had a full-time job, and whether I worked or not, real estate was paying me $12,000 a month. I started kicking back, and my real estate had put a little time here and a little time there, but I was enjoying the fact that I'd moved into my dream house, drove whatever car at the time I was driving, and just enjoying life, traveling, a trip with my wife to Jamaica. I remember on this trip, she asked me a question, which was, what do you want to do with your life? And the question felt really frustrating. It was almost like she was asking me to go and work again. And yet, if I was honest with myself, I hadn't enjoyed the 6-month retirement because it wasn't everything it was cracked up to be. I got home, I didn't have a job, and all of a sudden I was staring into the eyes of my 1-year-old baby, wondering what on earth I could do to fill up all day long with a mom and a dad full-time just taking care of this child. Like, it felt just as off to me as the idea of being jealous that my wife would never have to work. So it really set me on a journey of, who am I? What's my purpose? And you ask this question, like, why am I working? Like, why am I shooting these videos? Not just that, but I have a number of businesses that I continue growing and expanding. Why, if I don't need to? But I can tell you right now, I could shut everything down, probably work 1 hour a day, and make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's if I just lost everything and that's all I was doing. There's no appeal to that. I've tried living that life. There's this interesting report. I wish I could cite it specifically. Maybe one of you will research it and drop it in one of the comments. It was a fascinating report I read years ago about what happened to men and women after they retired. And you know what? The study showed that they had a very short lifespan after retirement. There's a study that basically says that working produces levels of fulfillment that chemically and everything else-wise, environmentally, has an impact on us that keeps us going, keeps us healthy, and keeps us alive. Retiring is dying. So what does retirement really mean to you, and what does retirement really mean to me? I've had to ask, if I had all the money in the world, if money was of no concern, what would I do with my life? I think it changes with each chapter of life. Here's the chapter I'm in right now. I got 4 kids, and the oldest is just turning 12 this month, and then the youngest is 6 years old, turning 7 this year. So 4 kids close together, and we travel a lot. We love to spend time. I love to take them out of school and get in trouble with the teachers. I love to customize their education. That's a little bratty. But I love being involved with my kids' life and teaching and educating. And my oldest, my daughter Lease, wow, she is going to be one heck of an entrepreneur. I cannot wait till she and I get to do some more formal business projects because I'm passing on a legacy. I'm sharing something with her. So family is a big part of my life. Spending time with my wife is a big part of my life. And traveling is a big part of my life. But outside of that, if I just do nothing, I don't like who I am. I'm just being honest here. I don't like the way that I feel. It's not so much that nervous energy that needs to be productive. There's just something inside that says there's more to life than just doing nothing, or being financially free means taking it easy and toes up on the beach. So what I've really learned is what my balance is, and you get to learn what your perfect balance is. My jam that I really love is work hard, play hard. I love sinking my teeth into a project that I really care about, and then I love to balance it with a lot of fun and a lot of play. Like, for example, I'm producing a bunch of YouTube videos next month in Mexico. And I'm going to take a couple of days, going to shoot a bunch of them. And then we're going to stay, and it'll be over Valentine's. So me and a buddy of mine and our wives are coming, and we're going to play and just hang out and spend a really good time together. So you look at all that, and it's like, all right, how do I balance play? How do I balance fun? How do I also balance nothing? And what does perfect really look like in my world? What does it look like in your world? My morning is throwing in generally some kind of exercise, some type of meditation, just allowing myself to get grounded. That makes a happier Kris. For me, there's usually a part of my day that it's dedicated to doing some type of work project because it's happy for me. And then there's time that's dedicated towards my family, my wife, and that's happy for me. And then there's time that's just dedicated to me having Kris time. And all of that adds up to a balance, and some days are different than others. They're in flow in how they shift. But here's what I do know. I need to be out there doing projects. I need to be creating value in the world because it's what really lights me up inside and gets me most excited for what life has to offer. If I can produce a video that creates value for you or gives you the next step on your journey or gets you moving. So I was just at the airport, and this guy runs up to me with his wife, so incredibly excited, said, man, Kris, we've been watching your YouTube channel. We just bought our fourplex. We're living in one of the units. We're renting out the other 3. And it's amazing. Thank you so much. And they wanted to take a picture with me. And I thought, my life force doesn't run on accolades, necessarily recognition or needing to be thanked. But what I really did love was that what I knew was useful, inspiring, and helpful for his situation. And so I guess to answer the question, why do I keep working? 1, I don't want to die. 2, I really just want to be happy. This brings me joy, and my different projects bring me joy. My different businesses bring me joy. But I've got some rules that I didn't have before. I don't know if I could have afforded them, but I can afford them now. Number 1, I spend time with people that I like. That's really important to me. I don't resonate with every person out there. Just like you might watch them and be like, Kris, you're kind of weird, man. You don't resonate with me. I get it. But I like to spend time with the people that I like to spend time with. My life is filled with lots of friends, amazing, inspiring individuals that I love to be around. And then I only work on work projects that I really believe in and that I believe can create maximum value according to what I know and what my potential is. Those are some of the rules that if I am going to work, those are the requirements. And if it doesn't meet those requirements, I'm out. I'm not going to do them. So I find that I have a lot of capacity for doing a lot of projects that can do a lot of good. And I just got to balance them with having the alone time, the free time, the travel time, the family time, the wife connection time, the God time. And in that world, finding my balance, when that balance is really humming just right, I'm my happiest me. And if I took you out of the equation, if I took my work out of the equation, I wouldn't be as fulfilled and I wouldn't be as happy. That's my truth. I don't know how that resonates with you. We're all a little bit different, but I think the principle that is true is that there's a perfect balance that'll be changing through life for every one of us. And creating value is my jam. That is one of the essential components of me being happy and fulfilled. And friends, that's why I work. You know, it's weird. Do I really work or am I really just playing? You know, it's interesting. Work feels like work when you're doing something that you really don't enjoy. But on the other hand, when you're doing something that you love, I have a hard time calling it work. And maybe that'll be true for you. Maybe it already is. But at the end of the day, part of my life is always going to be dedicated to creating value. And maybe that's what you and I really share in common. Because most of the people that I hang out with that have achieved a great level of success, rather than just only being toes up on the beach, after they get a fair share of that, there's this other calling that harkens deep inside that says, hey, there's more for us to do. Let's create value for other people. And that's why I'm here making this video for you. So make sure that you subscribe, ring the bell so that I can notify you about some of the other ways that we can work together. And otherwise, check out my website and some of the ways that we can play.